The power in Russia will change, and this will happen quite soon, and immediately after that, Russia will change its course, since even people will come to power. Russian volunteer Maximilian Andronnikov's Caesar believes it is those who will rule Russia after Putin who will radically change the views on life and war of Russian citizens, which will ensure Ukraine against another attack. Maximilian Andronnikov answered the question of how Putin can be stopped in his desire to destroy Ukraine. We need to keep the enemy at the front. That's the first thing. Secondly, we cannot defeat the enemy at the front because we do not have such resources. We do not have thousands of tanks. We do not have thousands of artillery pieces. We do not have tens of millions of shells. We do not have a large number of trained infantry. Our task is to contain him and make him pay in blood for every meter of advancement. The second point, continue to strike oil refineries, military enterprises, logistics hubs. All this undermines his military machine, and not only the military machine. If a drone flies into some oil refinery, then this is not just the destruction of a few tons of fuel, but this is a blow to those on whom Putin's system is based, to the oligarchs, because all this belongs to someone, and they all, in principle, suffer very large losses from this war. The fighter of freedom of Russia added to the above. But all this could last for years. Yanina Sokolova expressed her fear. It won't. Caesar hastened to reassure his interlocutor and the audience, after which he added, "Of course, I can't talk about any time frame. Only God knows everything. But based on my experience, based on what I see, what I know, based on history, which is very often repeated, I can say that you and I will see the fall of this regime and the building of a new country that will not threaten you in any way." Regarding how to change the hostile attitude of many Russians towards Ukraine, a Russian volunteer said this: "Believe me, as soon as the program in the conditionally liberated Moscow on the Ostankino Needle is changed, then in 2 weeks, they too will be crying crocodile tears. Ukraine, forgive me. And what have we done?" That's exactly how it works.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Sunday night that Russia's intention is to deceive America in a bilateral meeting between the US and Russian presidents on Friday. According to Associated Press, speaking in his nightly address, Zelensky said, "We understand Russia's intention to try to deceive America. We will not allow this." Zelensky said the war, which began with Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, must end as soon as possible with a just peace. U.S. President Donald Trump said he will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska on Friday to discuss ending the war. Putin has maintained Moscow's uncompromising demands in the war, raising fears he could use the summit to coerce Kiev into accepting an unfavorable deal.
Всі бачать, що жодного реального кроку Росії до миру, жодного кроку на землі чи в повітрі, які могли би зберегти життя, немає. Тому потрібні санкції. Потрібен тиск. Сила потрібна. Сила, передусім, Сполучених Штатів, сила Європи, сила усіх націй світу, які хочуть миру та спокою у міжнародних відносинах. Якщо Росія не хоче зупиняти війну, значить треба зупиняти її економіку. Треба якнайшвидше завершити війну чесним миром. Чесний мир потрібен. Чітка підтримка того, що все, що стосується України, має вирішуватись за участі України. Так само, як це має бути і щодо кожної іншої незалежної держави. Всіх треба поважати. Дякую всім, хто саме на такій позиції разом з Україною. Ми розуміємо намір росіян спробувати обманути Америку. Ми не допустимо цього. Я дуже ціную ту рішучість, з якою президент Трамп налаштований зупинити смерті у війні. І щодня багато людей віддають свої життя. Але єдиною першопричиною цих вбивств є бажання Путіна воювати та маніпулювати усіма, з ким він контактує. Ми в Україні добре знаємо Росію. І саме тому в надзвичайно складних умовах українці витримали вже понад 3 роки повномасштабної війни. Ми обов'язково захистимо державу, захистимо свою незалежність.
The Ukrainian Defense Forces continue to methodically destroy Russia's oil infrastructure, which supplies the army of the aggressor country. Recently, footage of a large-scale fire near the oil refinery in Slavyansk-on-Kuban in Krasnodar Krai appeared online. Local residents claim to have seen drones over the city and report the work of Russian air defense. Russian media write that on August the 8th, Krasnodar Krai faced the most massive daytime drone attack. Air raid sirens were announced throughout the region in the morning, after which internet outages began there. The airports of Sochi and Gelendzhik did not accept or release planes. Footage of vacationers being evacuated from Sochi beaches was published online. In addition, due to drone strikes in Sochi, a concert by American rapper Akon was almost disrupted. Due to the threat of a drone attack, an evacuation of the arena where the musician was scheduled to perform was announced. It was reported that after the air raid, concert-goers began to return tickets en masse. Visitors to Akon's concert in Sochi are being evacuated due to the threat of a drone attack. The city is once again sounding a siren. The sky has been closed for the second time in a day, wrote one of the Russian publics. Earlier, at 2 Rosneft refineries attacked by drones last week, several oil refining units were stopped and repairs will take about a month. We are talking about the Novokubishevsk oil refinery and the Ryazan oil refinery. This has not happened since March. The Novokubishevsk oil refinery suffered damage to the atmospheric column of the primary oil refining unit, AVT-11, capable of producing 18,900 tons per day. The plant still has one more unit, AVT-9, capable of processing 4,700 tons of oil in 24 hours, but the operation of the facility has been completely stopped. The refinery produced 8.3 million tons of oil products per year. In the case of the Ryazan oil refinery, the nature of the damage to the structural elements of the facility and equipment is unknown. The regional authorities of the occupying country reported a fire, smoke, and UAV debris falling on the territory of the facility. The operation of the plant, which is capable of processing 13.5 million tons of oil per year, has been stopped by 50%. Let us recall that the day before, the Ukrainian command confirmed the successful defeat of another oil refinery in Russia. We are talking about the Afipsky oil refinery in Kuban. This refinery processes 6.25 million tons of oil per year, which is more than 2% of all refining in Russia. It was here that the Russian army received fuel for its troops.